Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today we're going to talk about my celebrity YouTube collaboration with, of course, Whitney Houston's real sister-in-law, Miss Leolah Brown. And like I said, guys, Miss Leolah Brown, Whitney Houston's real sister-in-law, she has reached out to me, and we are going to do a celebrity YouTube collaboration. It's just I'm waiting. Like I said, she has messaged me on Instagram. She messaged me on Instagram, and basically she sent me love and support emojis. You know how they have the heart emojis, or you know how the heart is bursting out of the heart emoji eyes. Basically, just showing love and support for my YouTube channel. And yes, I have 7,467 YouTube views. I'm gonna put it in the chat. I have 7,467 YouTube views. And I do get a shout. I got my book back. I was meaning to show y'all this book as well because like I said, y'all know I have two Betty White books. I have this Betty White book right here. I am a Betty White fan. Y'all know this. I sent Betty White a letter back in 2018. This was like around June 2018. I sent her a letter. I sent her a letter to her Brentwood, Los Angeles home. So I'm not sure if it got sent to her because, as y'all know, Betty White is a celebrity and a multimillionaire. We all know this. She has multiple homes. So I'm not sure which home it got sent to. Like I said, she has a home with her late husband, in Carmel, California, and she had a home in Brentwood, Los Angeles. So I think she had two mansions, if I'm not mistaken. I know she had two of them, but this book right here is the main book I want to talk about because this book was released right after Betty's death. And the main thing I wanted to, connect this book to with Whitney's book. It doesn't really have anything to do with the Whitney Houston and Bob Christina story, but I'm gonna continue with that. Like I said, when I pass away, hopefully when I'm 100 years old, or another 83 or 85 years plus from now, I want to be in a gold casket like Whitney Houston and Elvis Presley and all these big celebrities that have passed away, you know, at a very young age. Whitney Houston passed away at almost 50 years old. She was 48. She was not too far. She was about to turn 49, actually. She would have been 49 that August of 2012 if she would have lived. So you might as well say she was 50. If she would have lived, another 2 years or so, she would have lived to 50. But my point is about Whitney and Bobby Christina. We know that Bobby Christina was beaten in her living room by Nick Gordon. He beat her down in her living room, bloody in her living room. It's in my book, my seven chapters book. But but yeah, like I said, Nick and Pat were both around during when Whitney was her body was found and when Chrissy was found. Like I said, Pat told the coroner when Whitney's body was discovered at the Beverly Hilton Hotel, she told the coroner that she was Whitney's assistant. That's what Pat Houston told the coroner when they came to pick up her body. And like I said, Whitney was wrapped in plastic. Lindsay Lohan made the statement that I think she clarified it later, but she said that she came in contact with Whitney's body at the morgue. But later, no, she did not, because nobody had, her body was not in a body bag. Matter of fact, Whitney's body was wrapped in plastic. She was taken out of plastic when she was at the morgue and when the people came up to take her to the funeral home for her funeral and when they put her in the casket and everything. So let's, start with them rumors. Whitney was beaten. She had 10 bruises on her body. 10. And the doctor or whoever, the coroner, whoever said she had contusion on her body. So she was fighting for her life. I want you guys, my YouTube fans, go back to February 9th, 2012. This was 2 days prior to Whitney Houston's death. Whitney crashed a television interview with Brandy, Monica, and Clive Davis. We all know Clive Davis and Monica and Brandy. Of course, Brandy is Ray J's sister. Monica is a singer, and Clive Davis is, of course, the man that really discovered Whitney. But a lot of people say Whitney's mother, Sissy, signed Whitney to for Clive, basically. But I've heard, and I could be wrong. I'm not going to, elaborate on certain details when it comes to Whitney Houston. But I have been told that Omarosa, girl, I know wherever you are living it up now, girl. But Omarosa told my girl, my celebrity friend, Miss Leolah Brown, Whitney Houston's real sister-in-law, and me and Miss Leolah are like very close celebrity friends. But Omarosa told Leolah that she was there when Stacey Francis came up to Whitney and squeezed her breast. Because your interview with Dr. Drew, Stacey Francis got on her interview with Dr. Drew, and she said that her and Whitney were arguing over Ray J. Which you know that is not true, Stacey. You know that is not true. You came up to Whitney and squeezed her breast and she cursed you out. That's exactly what happened. Ask Leolah, ask Omarosa. They will all tell you the exact same story. You came up to Whitney and squeezed her breast and she cursed you out. And you should have not did that. To a celebrity or not, it does not matter. Yes, me and Whitney and Leolah are all celebrities, but you don't come up to a person and invade their space like that. Personally, you don't do that, you know? Yes, Whitney and me and Leolah are very, humble people. But just like Selena was a very humble celebrity. But like I said, you don't come up to them and invade their privacy or invade their space. Like I said, people thought Whitney was just high. Yes, she was having a good time. She was. But she was not, overdoing it, is what I want to say. She just wanted to have a good time. Clarify this. They says to show love and support from me and my YouTube channel and for everything I'm doing to fight for Whitney Houston and Bobby Christina. Because at the end of the day, everything I do is in love and care and to fight for Whitney and Chrissy. And now that starting to get some of this information out, I think we are now finally getting some justice for Whitney and Chrissy. But the book has not came out yet. Like I said, 7 chapters of my book, My Sister's Keeper, feats Miss Leola Brown. It is a celebrity YouTube collaboration. We're both celebrities, and we both are very famous in, a way. I have 7,470 YouTube viewers. Miss Leola has 1,000,000. So the main point is, once I get this book out and once I finish with my book's done. I just have a few extra things I want to add to my book. After that, I found out around and we continue, we just talked, the church and stuff. So one day my mother came to the house was kind of funny, like now today has to do love and passion. And my mother has for me, and she has for me. And she walks in with these sheriffs and she says, I have a court junction here. Wait, then what now? You're gonna do it, you do it my way? Or we're not gonna do this at all. Or we're just not gonna do this at all. We're just gonna retire TV and you're gonna retire. Because this is not worth it. You're gonna get this up because she's not worth it. This is not worth it. Your mama came to your house with the sheriffs and said it's not worth it. She said if you buy that, they're gonna take you down. Don't you make a move. And he just stood there like all scared. He was scared and she said, let's go. She said, let's do this. She's not losing to the world. I'm not losing to the stage. I'm not doing this. I want my daughter back. I want you back. You want to see that glow in your eyes. That light in your eyes. I want to see the child I raised. And you were not raised like this. And I'm not having it. So you make a choice and you make it here today. She said, because I have a court junction that says you have to go. What was your mother telling your mind? Oh, okay.
This is my comeback. Start yours at purdueglobal.edu. Moving this summer? Join the 6 million families who discovered a smarter, more flexible way to move with Pods. And now you can save up to 30% off until July 17. Whether you're moving across town or across the country, save up to 30% at pods.com today.
The Whitney Houston interview continues.
Does that mean you're drug free? Where was Bobby Christine in all of that craziness?
With a special in-studio appearance.
Did Bobby know you were doing that interview?
His daughter, Bobby Christina, and
An entire studio audience of die-hard Whitney fans about to lose their minds.
the surprise show-stopping performance. Day 2 of Oprah's season premiere event.
Interviews I've ever done. If you missed it, I sure hope you have it on TiVo. Here are some highlights. Was he jealous of you? He's not gonna like this, but yes. What's the worst thing he ever said to you that you can share? He's gonna hate. I said, please spit on me. He spit on me. He actually spit on me. Your drug of choice was weed combined with cocaine. Cocaine, not cocaine. Your mama came to your house with the sheriffs and said, I want my daughter. Was your mother saying you have to go to rehab, or was your mother saying you have to get out of this marriage? I was going to rehab and make a decision. The story didn't end there. Watch as Whitney talks about the day she walked out of her 14-year marriage to R&B singer Bobby Brown. I just knew I had to get to the point where I had to make a choice. And I just remember praying, if you give me one day of strength, I will go out that door and I'll look back. And that one day came, and I left. I remember I said, going out for some sugar and some milk, and I'll be back. Did you know that that was the day? I knew it. You knew it. I never came back. Wow. I never came back, and I went to LA. But next time he heard I was in Los Angeles. I left. And you knew when you went out for the sugar that you weren't coming back. I wasn't coming back. Wow. Because everything started going on. The furniture started leaving. I started selling the house. I put the house in the market, cars, everything. I just got rid of everything.
After or before that?
After.
After.
After I left, I was at a friend's house. He would not come and bother me if I was at a certain person's house, a friend of mine. He would not come there. Because she was like, if you come over here, I'm just going to shoot you. Like, if you come over here, it doesn't bother me for long. She's got to make some choices in her life.
Wow. Where was Bobby Christina in all of that craziness?
I got her out the house earlier than I left. I placed her with my brother, Gary, and my sister-in-law, Pat, who lived 5 minutes down the street from me. Because it was getting to be a little much. And they took care of her for their like 5th and 6th grade while she went to school. While I just, tried to get it all together and say, what was I going to do? Where was I going to go? How was I going to do this? How was I going to get out of this? And once I made some moves, I took her with me to California, and we lived there for a year and a half. Yeah.
So were you separated from Bobby Brown for a time when we didn't even know it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I left. Yeah, but nobody really knew.
Nobody really knew.
No.
Do you feel that she, even doing that, taking her out of the house, that she saw too much, she heard too much, experienced too much?
She saw enough.
Mm-hmm.
Spitting in the face was enough. And she said, Mom, did you spit in your face? And I looked in her eyes, and she looked in mine, and I said, yes. But it's all right. She said, no, it's not. You may not understand it now, but just trust me. I'm not letting you go. I'm not letting you go. I will hold on to you with my dear life. Just trust me. We will get up out of this. And we'll be happier for it. And then as you get older, I'll tell you little by little as to why things are happening and why mine has to go. But we got to California and she was very angry. Did not understand. She fought me. But I kept coming back with love. I kept holding her in my arms. I kept knocking on that door and I kept getting on my knees. I kept praying, telling her I loved her. And then I waited for him. I did. I waited for him to come back to say all the stuff that he was doing. And he was doing a lot of ugly things outside the marriage. I just kept thinking he's dragging this into my home and my daughter. I can't have this. I can't let her think that this is love or this is the way that it should be.
This is after you moved to California.
Yes. Yes.
You were still, even after moving to California, hoping that you could get back together.
Yeah, I waited.
So, about what year was this?
2006. 2006. I just got on a plane. I had 2 pairs of pants, some sneakers, a couple pair of underwear, put in my little doggy bag. Friend of mine got on a plane with me.
This is when you prayed for strength to get out.
Yeah. And one day I was lying on the floor in my friend's apartment, trying to decide really what I was really going to do. And I ended up.
Was part of the decision what you wanted versus what the public perceived?
At that point, I didn't care.
You were no longer trying to fight for the image of the public.
Because it was, I wasn't going to be in a unholy matrimony. I wasn't going to be living with a man who decided that he wasn't going to live the same way I thought about marriage or me the same way. Being loyal, being dedicated, being true, faithful, all those things. I wasn't going to live with someone like that. I wasn't.
I'm very faithful and very loyal in a
And
relationship.
I wanted to stop at that point.
Yes.
I mean, the drugs, the whole thing. I
see
wanted
where
it all to just
stop right now.
and it just wanted to continue. By that time, the enemy just wanted to let itself in and just take over. And I wanted it out. And I was praying hard. I was praying very hard. And my mother, being the warrior that she is, she stepped in and said, let it go. Let it go. Just let it go.
What had she been saying all this time? Did she realize how tumultuous this relationship was? Or were you putting up the facade with her too?
I can't play her.
Okay.
I can't play her.
No, you can't play Sissy.
No, you can't play Sissy. Sissy comes in and she goes, I don't care what you say. I know my child. I'm looking in your eyes.
And I know.
You're not happy. And if you don't get out of this, something's going to happen. She said, I'm not giving you up.
When we come back, Was there ever a time where you thought you wouldn't come out of it?
And later, a real big surprise.
Make sure everything's there. We go. Okay, guys. I gotta edit the title after I finish the video. It says AJ is the cover of a magazine. That's fine. I just
Oh.
want to
Come here.
talk about some milk.
AJ, can you stand there with your food a bit?
Yeah.
You sure?
That'd be fine.
All right, just don't let him out, okay?
Okay.
I'll be back to you.
All right. But yeah, guys, I just wanted to talk about certain things. Don't get into everything, Kitty. I gotta take care of Maddie's cat. But yeah, I wanted to talk about how yes, I am the cover of.
AJ, if you get tired of, I'm sorry. If you get tired of, just put him back in my room. Let's close the door, okay?
You're fine.
All right, I'll
Listen to. But yeah, I just wanted to make sure, guys, when you come in, like the live stream, and we will continue on with the YouTube video. But I wanted to talk about how once me and Miss Leolah do sit down and talk about my YouTube collaboration that we want to talk about, I want to elaborate everything. I want to elaborate everything with my book. My book, My Sisters Keep Her Feet, Miss Leolah Brown, of course. And yeah. But yeah, I just want to make sure everything gets done with the book. And everything is about done with the book. I got 7 chapters of My Sisters Keep Her Feet, Miss Leolah Brown. And it'll be done once I get everything complete. I'm gonna edit the title after I finish.
Tonight, the dramatic arrest of an alleged serial killer after a decade-long investigation. The stunning development in New York tonight. A 59-year-old architect and father of 2 charged with the brutal murders of 3 women. Their remains found buried on a beach more than 10 years ago. Our police say cell phone records, DNA evidence, and gruesome internet searches led them to this suspect. And the reaction coming in from the families of the victims tonight. We are following that record-breaking heat, 85 million people under alerts with triple-digit temperatures from coast to coast. The heat index topping 100 for a 34th straight day in Florida. Our Tom Yamas reports from a sweltering Miami tonight. Hollywood on strike. From Los Angeles to New York, actors walking off set and onto the picket line. What A-listers and the writers they're joining on strike are demanding, and what it means for your favorite shows. Plus, an update tonight after the sudden death of actor Robert De Niro's grandson. The arrest just made in connection to his overdose. Shein sued the fast fashion retailer accused of stealing other designers' work. The law typically used against organized crime groups that's being used to bring these new charges. And life-saving call, a Good Samaritan jumping into the water to save a man trapped in a sinking car. How police and that brave bystander ultimately got him out. Top story starts right now. And good evening, everybody. I'm Aaron Gilchrist in for Tom Yamas. Tonight, the stunning arrest in a case that has vexed police in New York for more than a decade. Take a look. This is the man investigators say carried out a string of slayings on Long Island. Rex Heuermann, tonight accused of being the Gilgo Beach killer. Heuermann, once a successful architect working in Manhattan, now charged with 3 counts of first-degree murder. The bodies of 3 alleged victims discovered in close proximity along Gilgo Beach back in 2010. In all, 11 victims discovered on the coast between 2010 and 2011. Tonight, police unsealing the evidence that they say connects Heuermann to at least 3 of these cases. First, the chilling search history. According to a bail application filed in Suffolk County, Heuermann searched, quote, unsolved serial killer cases and Long Island killer, along with the names of the 3 victims. Next, his SUV, which matches the description of a vehicle spotted by a witness to one of the disappearances. That car taken out of his driveway this afternoon. Third, cell phone data pinpointing the area where a threatening call was made to one of the victim's sisters. That location just half a mile from Huerman's office. And finally, DNA evidence taken from a pizza crust that Huerman threw into a garbage can, a match for DNA found on another victim. Police now scouring his Massapequa Park home, which he shared with his wife and two adult children, searching for more clues and possible links to other deaths. In a moment, a former Suffolk County District Attorney who was involved with this case for years is going to join us live. First, though, NBC's Emily Akena leads us off. Rex, did you do it?
Handcuffed and flanked by authorities, Rex Huerman taken to a Long Island courthouse today in a case that has confounded investigators for more than a decade.
Rex Huerman is a demon that walks among us, a predator that ruined families.
Victims' families tearful as authorities announced the 59-year-old father and husband was charged with first and second-degree murder of three women, Melissa Barthelemy, Megan Waterman, and Amber Costello. Their remains discovered within a quarter-mile stretch near Gilgo Beach back in 2010. In all, 11 bodies were recovered in that area during sweeping search efforts, sending a wave of fear over Long Island residents.
I know there's a community out there that, as the facts unfold, will be sleeping a lot easier tonight.
After following him through the city last night, captured on this surveillance video, today investigators searching Huerman's Manhattan architecture firm and home in Massapequa Park, New York. Key evidence accumulating this year, including the recent discovery of his Chevrolet Avalanche towed from his property today. A witness to one of the victims' disappearance had described that vehicle according to court documents. Police say Huerman was also tied to burner phones, seen here loading more minutes onto the device, and authorities pulled his DNA from pizza crusts tossed in a Manhattan trash can. Neighbors on Long Island stunned to learn of the suspected serial killer living next door.
The guy's been quiet, never really bothers anybody. You were kind of shocked, to tell you the truth.
But tonight, authorities say the investigation is not over.
The work is not done here, but this is a major step forward.
Jessica Taylor's remains were discovered in 2011. Huerman is not charged with her murder today, but her cousin hopes this arrest will bring answers.
I'm hopeful for the future, and I'm hopeful that a connection is made.
And Emily Akena joins us now. Emily, talk to us about the latest on the suspect here. Where does this investigation go from this point?
Hey there, Aaron. Well, his lawyer says Huerman broke down in tears and insisted on his innocence. Right now, he is being held without bail behind me on those murder charges. And Aaron, investigators say he is actually the prime suspect in another death, too. The district attorney calling this a watershed moment. Aaron?
Emily Akena for us tonight. Emily, thank you. For more now on the arrest and what it means for Long Island residents, I want to bring in former Suffolk County District Attorney Tim City. Tim, we appreciate you being here tonight. You're a longtime Long Island resident and public safety official there in Suffolk County. What does it mean for Long Island that an arrest has been made in this case now?
I mean, this is a great moment for justice in our community. This case obviously has been going on for some time. When you take a look at the victims that are commonly referred to as the Gilgo Four, and this dates back to 2007. So to see an arrest made today, it really warms our hearts and is an enormous step towards justice. Now, obviously, this is the beginning of the next chapter. As law enforcement highlighted today, they're looking at this defendant in connection with the fourth victim, known as the Gilgo Four. And then, of course, we have the court process that we have to look to. This is a case where if the defendant holds the people to their burden of proof, this is a trial that will involve an enormous amount of evidence. And judging by the bail application that was filed in public court, there is substantial evidence here, and the DA's office's challenge will obviously have to be to present that in an effective way. And this is a case that's been going on for so long. It just by virtue of that fact, there's just reams and reams of information. And so there's still a lot of work to do in connection with the charge cases. Obviously, there remain open several more homicide investigations. But nonetheless, this is a great day for Long Island.
It's a few more questions for you. And you correct me if I'm wrong here. I know you were the police commissioner there. You created a task force to work on this as a cold case a few years back. You were the DA for Suffolk County. You assigned what 24 almost people in that office to work on this case at that time. What convinced you that this case was solvable years later? And what were some of the big challenges that your team faced in this case?
So one of the challenges, of course, was lost time, right? So when we came in, it was late 2015. The case was in disarray. You had the police commissioner and the former DA fighting about, how many killers.
Okay, guys, well, I'm going to continue with, basically whatever you guys want to watch. I'm going to probably put on something pertaining to Selena or Whitney, and then I'm gonna go wash. I'm gonna roll up a blunt, guys, and then I'm gonna go wash soon after that.
Buttery.
But yeah, guys, I got you.
Mouthful
I'm gonna
cream.
continue with of course, my YouTube celebrity collaboration with Miss Leolah Brown, and we have, like I said, been communicating over Instagram, and my main goal is to bring justice and find more peace. Of course, we have enough peace right now for Whitney and Chrissy, but of course, I would love to see, some charges be filed for somebody. I mean, I don't know, but there were a lot of people around during Whitney's death and Chrissy's, but mainly with Chrissy, were 10 gashes. You might as well say 10 gashes slash contusions. That somebody needs to look into that.
By this time, I had started telling just a few close friends about Selena. I had also told my parents that we were seeing each other. I knew they would be supportive, but first time I brought Selena home to meet my mother and stepfather, she was extremely nervous. Selena was about to perform in San Antonio, so she was dressed for the stage in a glamorous red outfit, and she brushed her shoulder-length hair out. I want to look my best when I met. I want to look my best when I meet your mom. She confided shyly. The meeting between Selena and my mother went well. I told her later. I could tell that my mom liked her. Still, Selena said, I was more nervous about meeting your mom than I was about going.